him. He's one of the top Norwegian players playing against Wesley So. I just had to give a little shout out to Mats. But let's watch Alexander Bortnyk, a person who's done very well in Titled Tuesday many times, has complained about this software, this anti-cheating software, Proctor, that they have to download that records their screens and makes sure that nobody is cheating. But he posted a video on his Twitter account the other day that it was causing his game to lag. And he was very upset about it. But despite that, he signs up every week and he's giving it his best. He's very determined to make it to the Esports World Cup.
Yeah, he's a fantastic speed player. He was also disappointed with his performance at the World Rapid and Blitz in Qatar recently. He felt like he could have given more, could have performed better. Here, I like White's chances. This pawn structure with a black D pawn being a bit backward tends to be a bit weak later, but this tends to be a good version for White with the bishop nicely entrenched on a square, maybe knights coming into the center.
I really like the fact that he's held back his c-pawn, because now he has the potential of playing his pawn one step forward, which really is a detriment to the black bishop on the long diagonal. So I feel like that's always one of the main strategic plans in positions like this.
Yeah, and apparently a rook lift is a strategic plan that, I mean, I've never seen before in these positions, but
not so much strategic as it as it relates to Bortnyk and his willingness to just go very gung-ho and just everything into the attack.
Exactly. Maybe later the rook will swing the whole way and we'll see some explosive sacrifices around the black king, but for now he's taking a timeout.
I think he's doing it. And frankly, I don't see what black can do against it. I genuinely think he's about to sacrifice on that. I think he might even do it right now.
And look, his opponent, the Greek Grandmaster, he is reacting to this. And was Bortnyk's previous move, was that to try to take that G4 square from one of the knights, perhaps? So it really looks like his moves on both sides of the board is all about this rook lift over to the other side. And look how hopeless his opponent looks. He doesn't know how to respond to this.
Will we see it? Will we see the white rook swing the whole way across the board? It must be tempting. Bortnyk, I will mention, in just the last few weeks, last few months, he has been a bit slower. He tends to give himself a bit of a handicap. He tends to be at around 30 seconds, 1 minute, when his opponents are far higher on the clock. But his play is inspired when low on time. So he does need to decide whether to just drop back somewhere with his rook or swing it the whole way.
Or what?
Third option, leave the rook hanging. His knights are being hit in the center. That knight is trapped. Wow.
Maybe that was why Kourkoulos was reacting to. He realized, by putting my bishop there, I don't have a place to retreat the knight.
Oh, but Bortnyk could have... the Greek guy, he could have retreated the knight first.
Kourkoulos-Arditis.
Very tricky.
Okay, tactics in the air. Knight to h7 was a better move just a couple of moves before it was played. A material count, Bortnyk is the exchange down, but he's got a hit on the black queen, and the bishop is sometimes hanging. Yeah, so this is very, very tactical now. Better for black again, after maybe some misplayed moves from both sides. White's pieces are also a bit loose, especially this bishop. And if it drops back, black has time to trade off the queens with a check and then save his piece.
And it actually says that it is better now for the Greek Grandmaster, and it's increasing the advantage. But surely this is a position where suddenly the bar will swing in different directions because there are so many pieces that can kind of suddenly be taken.
Exactly. There's all sorts of hanging pieces. I'm not sure how to get at them. At some point you want to play the move pawn to f5, but more likely he's going to drop his bishop back somewhere. Save that one.
I really like that first move you were suggesting, that the bishop may try to trade itself. Because one thing is retreating the bishop, but retreating the bishop in such a way that you're still making threats against white's position. And you're kind of giving away a pawn on the side to open up for the black rook along the a-file. That was very sneaky.
Yeah, and okay, a mysterious rook move. That takes a lot of self-control to just leave a piece hanging on the side of the board, but the white knight was needed to defend its fellow piece here, so it didn't have time to go and grab the bishop. Another pawn was grabbed by Bortnyk, so now he's the exchange down. Still rook for knight, but he has one pawn. Quite a strong pawn, potentially long-term.
With a queen trade here, I'm not even sure Bortnyk is worse because of that strong pawn.
For example, if the bishop drops back somewhere, saves itself, the queen exchange in the center. Yeah, maybe there's some tactics still, but anything could happen there. Bortnyk needs to speed up, though.
Yeah, they're both playing very slowly because there's so much stuff to calculate. They're being
that's just not good. You can... Oh, never mind. The bishop is hanging in the end.
Is it maybe this move? Oof.
This is very confusing.
Yeah, no, I was thinking rook takes bishop and then you get a check and you take the knight, but I forgot my own bishop is under attack as well. It's just everything is...
Wow, look at this player that I can't say I recognize his name, and he's won against Maxime Vachier-Lagrave and has a perfect 5 out of 5. Kravtsev.
I'm showing my age. I know this player very well.
Me too.
Who is this?
Well, I think he's part of our generation, right, David?
Yeah, I think maybe 1 year either way of us. Very strong Ukrainian grandmaster, very consistent, but maybe not renowned at the very top level, hasn't had those big tournament invites. The one time I managed to win Titled Tuesday, I played him in the penultimate round. Ooh. I remember that, and he blundered his queen in one move, so that helped. But no, he's very strong. Taking down MVL proves it. Big moment, though. And just while we were talking about other games, other results, Kourkoulos-Arditis hasn't moved. Over a minute of thought now, and eventually he pushes his pawn. There's so much overwork of the white pieces now. The knight is hit, which has to defend this bishop. Can he get away with taking this bishop? I think that tactic you mentioned, your Ludwig, is going to be in the air a bit later with a capture and some checks. He saves his knight, but...
But what about the bishop?
Yeah, but there's the black bishop as well, but...
Okay.
Maybe he could have sold it.
Yeah.
Well, there was some tactics there as well. Still the exchange up. Does he grab a pawn?
How good are they at adapting to realizing that they had better moves in different moments?
Yeah, at this point, they probably don't care. They're just like, quick, just need to move. But the extra exchange combined with dark squared threats against the white king does look like it should be a win for black here. The rook is trapped, though.
It's really been a day of upsets then, because Maxime losing now, Magnus has lost, Hikaru's lost, Bortnyk might lose now. I mean, who is going to have... Are we going to recognize any of the names at 5 out of 5?
Well, I was already struggling at 4 out of 4. Like there were 2, 3 names I hadn't heard of at any point.
I agree. They tend to be younger players who are just making their way through the ranks right now. In the meantime, still a winning advantage for black, despite being a pawn down after that pseudo-sacrifice, giving back some material. The knight is coming. The bishop is coming. Just everything attacking for black. Big threat of a knight check and then a checkmate. No surviving this.
It's good you pointed out because we've seen it happen so many times. But Bortnyk does cover it up.
Ooh, where's the killer blow? The white king is running.
I don't see it.
You don't see it either. Feels like it must be there, though.
Practice your tactics.
Does the rook slide across? I would be boring and try to win some material.
But then the pawn starts running.
Oh, and yeah, that would be panic stations.
Oh, threatening checkmate.
Okay, smothered mate threatened. But now other mates threatened. The bishop coming in, the queen giving a deadly check. Okay.
For now, Bortnyk seems to be surviving.
Fighting hard.
And look how much time he's spending. He's spending so much time. He's only going to have 20 seconds left.
Bortnyk might make it here. Black can go for a repetition back and forth with the queen.
What would you do here? 19 seconds. Is it a practical move? Oh, wow. He gives up his rook. He's trying to break the pawn, shelter in front of the white king. There will be some checkmating ideas with the queen and bishop teaming up.
Bishop f3 maybe to try and make sure the king can get away.
Nice. There was a threat of a rook check as well. The white king would then run.
Now you take the bishop.
It's getting chaotic, but a check.
Oh, that decides it.
Oh, surely now. The Greek Grandmaster's winning. Queen up.
Two queens up.
2 queens up. Checkmate here, even with 1 second. Should be enough. There we go. Wow. Flurry of tactics there. Bortnyk did not survive.
That's the kind of game you get like mentally exhausted